Hi, my name is Stephen Pack, and I'd like to tell you about baked goods. I know this is the American Heart Association, but I think the last thing they'd like to hear about is heart issues, so baked goods. So a few months ago, I had a very, very energetic Facebook discussion, and it wasn't about politics or religion. It was literally about what is the thing you bring to an emergency room staff as a sort of thank you. And this is a big discussion. This is 50 different posts across a lot of different professions, but luckily with the input of some friends of mine who are nurses and some med techs, they said cupcakes. And you would think that cupcakes aren't the thing you want to bring to a hospital, it's a little grenade of fat and sugar and at a place that you're trying to be healthy to. But it was determined that this is the thing that the nurses would really appreciate. So I brought cupcakes to the ER staff. And the reason I did that is that on January 1st of this year, I woke up and with heartburn, or at least I thought it was heartburn at the time. I took some Pepto-Bismol, I had some water. I'd had my celebratory pizza and chicken wings the night before because I wanted to see 2016 go. I was very keen to see it go away. But when I woke up at 5 a.m., something wasn't quite right. And so after that indigestion didn't go away, I started Googling medical symptoms because that always goes really well, is Googling medical symptoms on the internet. But in this case, I said, well, what are the symptoms of a heart attack? And the symptoms I was having actually fit with that very well. You know, there was a pain, there was a pressure, there was some in my arms, I began sweating. I don't know if I was sweating because I looked up medical issues on the internet. Again, never a great idea. But it seemed as if it fit. And so I woke up my lovely wife and I said, would you mind, just to be sure, could you take me to the hospital? And 2 minutes later, we are flying down the road at a very unsafe speed. And we pull into the hospital in Oberlin with, I think, 2 of the wheels up on a curb. And we stroll into the emergency room, which is a quiet place at 5:30 in the morning, as it should be. It should be the safest time in the world. There should be nothing happening at 5:30 in the morning. And they begin the admission process. They're asking me questions. I said, I don't know if this moves things along, but I think I'm having a cardiac event. Oddly enough, this moves things along to a much quicker pace, and I'm whisked into a room, and my blood pressure's taken, and there's questions being asked of me. And everyone is pleasant, we're smiling, we're laughing, we're having a good time. I take a selfie because I'm like, I'm gonna post this to Facebook later because this is when I freaked out over indigestion the day I went to the hospital. And well, then some more people show up. Then I'm getting some oxygen and I'm getting an IV and then an x-ray. Then a gentleman comes in with an EKG machine and they're putting sensors on me. But again, we seem to be doing pretty well. We're talking. They're asking me how I'm doing. The pain is still there. I'm worried a little bit, but everyone again is calm. My wife is calm. People is calm. At this point, I've only had a few hours of sleep, so I nod off. Or at least that's my impression, is I just nodded off. And the next thing I know, the doctor is shaking my arm and he's saying, hey, you went away there for a little bit, but you're back. So, how are you doing? And I felt embarrassed, I'd fallen asleep while all these people are doing all this hard work around me. He says, yeah, you went away for a little bit, but we gave you some adrenaline. I go, wait, adrenaline? You don't give adrenaline for, indigestion. And I'm a little foggy, admittedly. I'm a little out of it. And I said, you gave adrenaline? Did you stab the huge needle into my heart? No, we didn't do the Quentin Tarantino thing. We put it in your IV. Oh, okay. He says, right, so we're gonna be life flighting you out of here. I said, wait, you don't life flight indigestion. Now I'm remembering that the last thing actually he had told me is he had walked in the room before I fell asleep and he said, well, Mr. Pack, you are having a heart attack. Oh, well, again, I'm being hooked up to new equipment. I'm being put onto new machines. I'm whisked away in a helicopter to another hospital to a waiting emergency room. And that's because I'd had a heart attack. In fact, not just a heart attack, I'd had what they call a widowmaker. While I was listening to the doctor tell me that I was having a heart attack, I went into what's called VFib, and then code blue is the pleasant term for when your heart just stops. So since then, I've paid a little closer attention to my heart health. I am on a diet. I have lost 40 pounds, which I used to think, yeah, I need to lose some weight, but I never did. I never actually quit eating the crap food. I never really paid attention to my sodium level. I pay attention to those things now. I'm doing moderate exercise for my heart, and the effects have been pretty drastic. Like I said, 40 pounds off. And where I thought it would be really hard before, when every day I woke up and said, yeah, I should eat a little bit better, it hasn't been hard because the alternative was dead. And that's a motivator, that's a great motivator for you. If I hadn't been in an emergency room, I wouldn't be here today. I had the best care available immediately. I am lucky. A lot of people aren't. So again, just pay attention to yourself. You know what to do. Go off and do it.